Hey guys, welcome back. Ivan Blasquez here, certified exercise physiologist. I just want to show you what's known as the sleeper stretch. This is actually one of my favorite shoulder stretches to do, and this is probably one of the most perhaps underutilized stretches. In fact, there may be many people who are unaware of this stretch, so I'd like to go ahead and demonstrate this to you today. So essentially it's called the sleeper stretch because it's almost like you're in a sleeping position on your side. So what I like to do is so that this stretch stretches the external rotator, or also the posterior capsule, which is commonly tight in many, and often this is a quick, easy remedy that can typically be alleviating and even really just kind of preventative in a lot of ways, because what happens is these muscles can tend to get tight as well as weakened. So it's kind of an interesting relationship. At least that's the traditional understanding of this. But what I like to do is I take my elbow, bend it at a right angle, so it's like a 90-degree angle, and then it's going to be right across from the shoulder, but sometimes I like to go a little higher than the shoulder. But if that causes any kind of impingement, then obviously you'd want to keep it right here at the shoulder level. And then I like to kind of nestle the side of my cheek against the shoulder, or basically this would be the acromion, or almost the coracoid process. So it helps to stabilize, because what happens is this will pop up, right? Especially if one is really tight. So if you nestle the cheek up against the shoulder, then we're going to slowly rotate down, and I'm working to keep this shoulder from really kind of protruding upward. So it stabilizes the scapula, and you're really just trying to internally rotate the humerus. It's almost like an Allen wrench. It's a rotational stretch. And a lot of people, if they're not used to this, they will actually love the way this feels, because it feels so different. Because most stretches are usually sagittal or frontal plane stretches, right? This is a transverse plane stretch, and it really kind of makes it unique that way. And I find it has a very different feel. So usually what I like to do is kind of hold here gently. And then sometimes a little nuances, I like to actually rotate the forearm. And what's interesting is I find, anecdotally speaking, this actually changes the stretch. Now I don't know if it's stretching a different area of the external rotators, which are primarily the supraspinatus. I'm sorry, not the supraspinatus, so that might be getting stretched. Teres minor and infraspinatus. And I also like to change the forearm this way as well. And I also like to sometimes go outside of that 90 degrees, so I'll open this up to make it more of kind of like an obtuse angle, so it's a little wider. And sometimes I'll make it more of an acute angle, bring the wrist closer to the body. And just hold the stretch. Now the general guideline, if I'm not mistaken, is basically 45-degree angle is kind of considered adequate flexibility. I have a lot of clients, and I see a lot of people where they can't even get their hand that far down, in which case they have a very tight posterior capsule and tight musculature, and they could probably would be beneficial to introduce this stretch and work on improving it. So I just wanted to share a quick little video on this stretch called the sleeper stretch that stretches the rotator cuff. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.